Hey everyone, welcome back. Joe here again, scalefreak.com. Got the Trailfinder 2 on the bench, and tonight we're going to take a little look at the bobbed bed for the Marlin crawler, the Trailfinder 2 Marlin edition that you can get. A little different. I want to talk about this. Not only do I want to talk about this because, well, first of all, I want you to know about it, but second, I want to make you aware of a few things that maybe my eagerness to get this part wasn't paying attention to. Is it a pro? Is it a con? That's up to you guys to decide, but let me show you a few things. So first of all, it is the RC4WD part. It is part number Z-B0202, which is the RC4WD Mojave 2 rear bobbed bed. This is what you would get on the Marlin crawler if you've got that one. Well, so here's the thing. Number one, it's going to be shorter. So it actually cuts a bunch of distance off the back of the bed. But it also is shorter. I didn't realize that when I was looking at it. You can see here, well, you know what, hold on. I'm going to pull the body off of this and I'm going to show you. So first I do want to show you this. This is mounted on. Of course, as you know, with the Trailfinder 2, these are mounts to mount the body to the chassis. These screws here are to mount the bed to the cab. And then with this one, normally I would have body posts popping out of here as well, but I have them removed because I'm kind of brainstorming how I'm going to make this other setup fit, or even if I'm going to put it on there. I've already gone through, you can see I've taken my windows out. All my lights are off right now. All of the, well, these are glued on, but I'm going to take them off. All of the mirrors and stuff like that are off the body. They're just off all on a pile on the side. I just went through and cleaned all of the mud off of it. Well, I consider if I'm repainting. I think I'm gonna, I don't know yet. Anyway, I'm kind of brainstorming a handful of ideas. One thing I want to show you first, look at the back. So you can see on the back how far down this goes compared to this. See the difference? It's kind of one of the things I was talking about. So on the bobbed bed, you lose from here down. Now, you'll also notice that from most views, you cannot see the chassis, you cannot see the bumper mount on the back, so those are gone. Also, you will notice the holes for the side marker lights on the stock bed. Okay, that out of the way. Let's get this out of here. So the body itself normally would be held on by 4 M3 screws and 2 body clips. Again, I've got the body posts that would be in the bed just currently taken off. I want to show a few things. And just one more. Okay, so body off. I'll show you here. So normally there would be a couple of body posts here. I've got those right here and right here. And when you put the bed on, the bed would just poke on. You put the body clips on, because that way if you drive off of a rock and it grabs the bottom of the body, it's not just going to like break it off. It'll actually have a body pin to kind of knock against. So not a problem. The bottom of the bed, this area here, will rest on top of this anyway, so you don't have to worry about hitting on the top of it. It's not going to break it that way, but those body pins will keep it from breaking that way. So you've got that. Now, on this one, well, I'll show you how it'll mount in a second, but one thing that I've noticed by looking at the manual for the Marlin crawler is there would be another set of holes right here on the chassis, because you would actually move this bar all the way up here. What is hard to see, and let me just get this apart real quick. Where'd I put that little tool? There it is. So the body itself, you can see here, there's a nut and a screw that just hold it together. So again, 4 of them. Super easy. One of the benefits of a hard body is that you can, if you just suddenly decide that you wanted to, I don't know, make some adjustments or make some alterations to your body, you can. Let me see something real quick. One thing I want to measure real quick. Front to back on this one, you're looking at 18.5 inches. Roughly 18.5 inches. Roughly. Okay, that's one. But yes, if you decide that you just want to make an adjustment, you can. It's not a heartbreaker. You not like a Lexan body where you just got to buy another body because you can't just take the paint off. I know there are ways with different products, but they're never completely the same again ever. With these ones here, you just take a piece of sandpaper or just paint over top of it or make whatever modifications you want to. I've seen some people just heat up areas of the body and dent it in to make it look like they've actually got some body damage. That's also pretty neat. All right, so this is a part. Now, actually, that being said, maybe you don't even want to run a bed. Maybe you just want to get like a back cage. When you buy this body set, it actually comes with a piece that covers this back entirely so that you can bolt a back cage to it. So you've got that as well. But anyway, this aside for now. Let's look at the beds. So one of the things that I had read online is that the bobbed bed is more shallow than this bed is. You don't get as much depth. I measured it all out. They're the same. The depth on both of these things is exactly the same. The width is the same, but where you get the difference is, well, the big difference is the length. So you are looking at this guy here from front to back of the bed is 8.5 inches. This one here is 7.5. So you lose an inch. Doesn't seem like a whole lot, but wait till you see it on the truck. Now, but again, I do want to point this part out right here. This is what got me. Here, let's do this. If I set this flat on the board, see how close the back of that is to the pit board? Yep. Look at this one. Look how close it is now, or how far away that it is. Now, at first you're like, oh, I know, hey, no big deal. But this is where it got me. And it took me a moment to kind of get over it, I guess you could say. But I'm going to show you. So again, putting it back together, super easy. If I find out where I put all the hardware. This one. This thing's super handy. This little guy here is from Exotech. Super handy for the small nuts to get into little spaces like that. It also helps that you can spin one from one side. So spin the nut from one side, spin the screw from the other, and between the two of them, you can sink it in twice as fast, which I kind of like. Two. Now, one thing I did notice is that this bed in the bag, so it comes in a plastic bag and then a plastic bag inside of a plastic bag, but it does come with some new hardware if you wanted to get new screws and new nuts to put them on there, but these are not lock nuts. They're just, you'd have to Loctite them or something. The ones that come with the kit are lock nuts. I trust that a little bit better, so I would just continue to use that, except for the fact that I think I just lost one. Okay, it's on the workbench somewhere. Not important for me to put that fourth one in just yet, but for display purposes, I'm going to show you this. So, put this back on here, and give me just 1 second, because I just got to put the screws back into the body in order to correctly show you this. Trailfinder 2s are not the fastest body change when you're, or like battery change when you're on the trail, because of the 4 screws and stuff like that. Always bring, I've used one of those little 4 compartment Cow RC Pro Mag mats, so that when I'm doing stuff like this on the trail, if I drop a screw, it's going to get caught up on something. I've got one off camera, which I'm keeping all my screws on, because when you pull the body apart, there's hardware, like a lot of hardware. So just keep it handy. Second, just to line these last 2 up. go. Okay, so now this is with the shorter bed on it. Now, as I mentioned, it's not as deep. You lose a pair of lights, which is, I mean, no big deal, I guess. I kind of like having the lights on there, but it is what it is. So now if you take a look at the back now. Remember before how this area here was deep enough that it covered this. You didn't see this part of the chassis. What you actually would do is it would cover up about that much, so that if you just put this with the straight bar on the back, it would just be straight across the back. You would not see that at all. But now, even if I do put the straight bar across the back of the chassis is going to be exposed. Now, if you look at it from the side, this is also exposed. Before, you, of course, would see it here, but now on the back half, this used to come down that far so that you wouldn't see any of this stuff here. Now, also, the body mount position. So the body mount position on here, it looks roughly to be the same on that, but remember, the bed is a lot shorter. So the body mount position is going to be way off now. This is where the Marlin had an extra set of holes further up so that the body, I don't know if you can see the screwdriver in there, that's where the body mount would be, as opposed to the body mount on the other bed is all the way back here. So that's a difference on that one. So what I was going to have to do was, I was originally thinking I would just have to drill holes in the chassis and move that body mount up forward more. But then Steve and I got kind of brainstorming and found a different way that we were going to do it. So what I was actually going to do was take this and knock 22 millimeters out of the back of the bed, shave this off, move this forward so that it would actually shorten the bed itself by 22 millimeters. That way I would have that piece still. I would have that depth. But I've decided that I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this and see how I feel about it after a little bit. But what I am going to do to mount the bed will be a little bit different. I'm going to take, so first of all, see these things here? These are what screw the body to the chassis. Now, I'm going to buy these in metal because I want them in metal for the side of this, so that way they're a little more stiff for the body on the top. But these, as you can see, screw into the chassis and then screw onto the body. So what I'm going to do is take these and I'm going to mount them in the back of the truck in the original mounting position so that they'll be back here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drill a couple tiny holes in the back, and then I'm going to use screws, just like they mount into the side, to go into the back as well. So I'm actually going to remove all body pins, and I'll fill these holes because I'm going to fill all of these holes and just do a bed spray in the back. So that's kind of what my plan is with that. But you can see now the entire truck from front to back is now 17.5 inches. I forget what I said it was before. I think it was like 18.5 because it would have added an inch to it. So we've chopped off, if that's the case, we've chopped an inch off the back of the truck, which when you're leaving a rock, so put it this way, descent angle is now like that, whereas before, 1 inch out, it would be like that. You wouldn't be able to jump or drive off of an object or an obstacle without sometimes, and it happens, catching the edge of the bed. Now, I don't run bumpers on this truck. I don't run bumpers and I don't run sliders. So I don't have to worry about having anything extra hanging off the back of the truck. And what I will do is, if you notice here on the front, my bumper support on the front is straight across. It used to have one that also angled down, because when this is on the front, you can see like that. So it used to have one that angled down, but I decided that I just chopped it off or replaced it with this part. So I'm going to get a second plastic set and then just make it direct across the back as well, so it'll just be straight. Because I don't run bumpers. Oh well. But that's it. So I wanted to show you guys this bed. It was important that I showed you those differences. If you do run lights, you still can put all your taillights and everything on there. All that taillight hardware will still mount in. You still have all the dimples in the side of the bed to put any of the hardware to like strap a net or something on the back that come with it that I just never bothered to put on. But you will lose that marker light on the back, which is completely up to you whether or not that is important or not. For me, it kind of is, but whatever, I'm going to go without it. It is what it is. Sucks that it's not going to have it, but whatever. I guess worst case scenario, I could drill the holes up here and put them a little bit higher on the bed if I really wanted to. But I think for now, I'm just going to leave it like this, paint it closer to this color, and then and run it and see how I feel about the difference on the back of the bed. In the meantime, what I might do is also trim the back of this bed as a project to see if I'm crap at it, and then go from there. Actually, Ketty also had the suggestion of why not just cut the bottom of this off and stick it to the bottom of that, because there was also that option as well, which in reality could be done. But I think I would be crap at that too. So, but that's what I wanted to show you. I did want to show you this thing here. Again, is the RC4WD, the Z-B0202, the shorter bed for the Trail Finder 2. I'm on the fence about this one right now, guys. Let me correct this. It is a great product. It is the same hard plastic, and I think that this thing is going to stand up against some serious hits like the other bed did. This is really bothering me. Like really, really bothering me. Where if I trimmed 22 millimeters out of this, it would still mean that this back section here will still cover the back of that chassis, and I won't see that, and I won't see this bare spot back here. It's bothering me a little bit. But also on the Marlin chassis, if you got the Marlin chassis, it would be missing the front up here as well, because it's got a big Marlin front bumper on the front. So go take a look at that. But on the fence if I'm going to like that. I'm going to paint it up and run it for a bit, and then we'll see. Guys, leave your comments below what your thoughts on this are. Tell me what you think about this. I know it doesn't look bad. It's just not what I wanted. So please leave your thoughts and stuff down below on what you think about this setup. Maybe you guys can offer me some words of encouragement that will make this feel a little bit better. But please let me know. And of course, as always, please click on like and subscribe and share throughout your community. So guys, thank you very much for hanging out and watching the video for this part. Have a great night.